Paragons have been in the game since update 27 along with Bloonarius. Unlike today, they only had 2 Paragons, so today I'll show you the history of Paragons and how they evolved over the years. Let's get poppin'. In update 27, they added the APM and Glaive Dominus. However, one problem. The Apex Plasma Master was so good that it killed any use the Glaive Dominus had. Not only was the APM half of the Dominus's cost, it was also way easier to cook higher degrees due to monkey knowledge and that second crossbow master. Glaive Dom was still good, but not nearly as good as the APM. While Apex Plasma Master shredded Bloonarius, Glaive Dom ended up as an afterthought, and is begging for a buff. The very next update introduced the Ascended Shadow. Ascended Shadow was crazy. His many shurikens and sticky bombs allows him to be insane. However, his ridiculously high cost makes him only a late game option for G5 bosses at a whopping $600,000 back then. So yeah, just get an APM for tier 3 and 4 and an Ascended Shadow and BTD6 for T5, while Glaive Dom still remained forgotten. Update 29 buffed Glaive Dominus so much he can deal more damage than the APM, but with how easy it is to get high degrees, it was still busted. Not only was Glaive Dom still overshadowed, the Novarc of the Seas was so strong, the APM had a competitor with global planes, 6 cannons, a passive to insta-kill Moab class balloons, and the ability to pull in bads. That's right, the Paragon was the first tower to insta-kill a BAD balloon since the Zealy. Everybody thought this was illegal, and here's why. Bads are Moab class balloons that are immune to insta-kills, stuns, slows, and knockback, meaning pulling in bads wasn't normal. Also, due to boat farming, it was very easy to get higher degrees. Overall, the Novarc of the Seas was a true competitor to the Apex Master. 2 updates later, they introduced Geraldo. But how does he affect Paragons, you may be asking? Well, at level 20, you can buy Paragon totems, which give 5,000 power towards your next Paragon. It's actually impossible to get degree 100 Paragons without Geraldo, so he actually made a bigger impact with Paragons than you think. The 32nd update added the Master Builder. It did have those overclocks, getting this Paragon pops, but that's all going for it. This was a pretty controversial Paragon because it only combined the sentries and the overclock of the engineer. There was no trap whatsoever. Even Ninja Kiwi themselves thought it was odd that the first support Paragon doesn't buff towers in some way. However, there was something even worse than that, the power creep. At this point, people are expecting new Paragons to be just as strong as the Novarc and the Apex Master, or they'll be frustrated and disappointed, which ultimately made Paragons useless. Update 33 introduced the Goliath Doomship, the most expensive Paragon in BTD6. Despite its high cost, it was pretty crazy. Its ability, Carpet Bomb, deploys 3 mini Doom ships that drop 8 explosions that stun all balloon types except for bat balloons. Since he was almost $1 million, you needed to farm a lot to get higher degrees. 4 updates later, the Magnus Perfectus was added to BTD6. This was a very high skill Paragon compared to other Paragons. Not only does he have 2 abilities, he also has this graveyard thing that fills up only when you micro to his weaker laser attack. He requires more skill compared to every other Paragon. Update 39 contains something better than a new Paragon, a Paragon rework. Prior to this rework, you get many towers you want a Paragon, then you put down many totems and finally Paragon it. But now, you can sacrifice cash directly to make a Paragon with the slider. This was a well-received update by many people and made Paragons much less confusing. The 41st update is where the Nautic Siege Core debuted. Ninja Kiwi actually conferred a Subagon back in Update 37. Despite this, he was very weak at release. When I was researching info for the Nautic Siege Core, I found a Reddit post saying that was the new worst Paragon in BTD6, making him an afterthought. Finally, Update 46 debuted the Crucible of Steel and Flame Paragon. One thing I knew was that it was really cheap and its lack of camo detection. I think this is dumb because all Paragons prior got camo detection and the meteor from the Inferno Ring already had camo detection. Camo or not, it is still a strong Paragon. And this will conclude this video. Be sure to like and subscribe for more BTD6 content.